When you're trying to build wealth, you must absolutely not lose sight of the fact that you could lose a huge chunk of money on an unexpected event. Now, that is the story for this video. So we're here on my money channel, Daniel Shensmith. So please do subscribe for further content. I know I haven't done any for a while, but we are coming back. So many stories like this end up with people losing huge chunks of money, although sometimes there are certain things you can do to prevent it. So let's take this story as an example. This was a cyclist who hit a pedestrian. The pedestrian was walking along with her head in her phone and effectively not really paying attention to the world around her. But the judge found that the cyclist was just as much to blame because the cyclist should anticipate that people might do unexpected things, and so landed a compensation bill against him for £4,300. What he didn't anticipate is that the legal fees against him were £112,000. Now, without insurance, this would have bankrupted him. But he had the foresight to set up a GoFundMe page, raised £59,000, settled with the lawyers, so I understand it, for £30,000 on the other side. So after the GoFundMe fees, the damages payable of £4,300, interest on those damages, and his own costs, he was still down almost £3,000. Now, there was more to that story in the X thread, which you can find over on X. But this just goes to show that you can have a really unexpected event in which you might think that you are perfectly blameless, but it might wipe out not just your savings, but your entire livelihood as well. If they get a certain amount against you, they could then go for an attachment to earnings, which means the money goes from your employer to whoever is owed the money, or they could even go for a charging order over your property, so that they can, in some cases, force you to sell that property in order to get the money. And certainly you won't be able to sell it without settling that debt. So this is on my money channel here, how to build wealth, because many people lose sight of the fact of these things that can wipe out all of your savings in one go. How can you avoid this? Well, aside from avoiding riding into cyclists or driving into cyclists in the first place, ensure that you are insured. Now, cyclists, of course, are not usually going to be insured on their car insurance, but you might be insured for public liability on your house insurance, for example. And you can even take out specific insurance to cover specific situations such as cycling. So if you're out cycling or doing any other kind of sport, I would strongly suggest that you get insurance to cover those situations. You should also get insurance to cover your legal costs, because even the most simple claim that goes to court can end up with many thousands of pounds. For example, I've routinely seen claims going to even the small claims court. It's not technically known as the small claims court, it's the county court, and small claims are heard at the county court. But those claims might be for £2,000, £3,000, £4,000, anything that's not more than £10,000 for the value of the claim. But those legal fees could be anywhere between £5,000 and £15,000 routinely, and you can't necessarily claim those back unless the other side has handled the situation very badly and run the litigation badly. Then the rules allow you to claim some of those back. And of course, that will be different in different jurisdictions. But again, if you have insurance in place to cover your legal expenses in these kind of situations, then they can fight claims for you, bring claims for you, and cover those costs in doing so. So that is just one way you can avoid losing a huge chunk of your savings to make sure that you are insured for these events. And of course, going about your daily life just with that little bit of forethought that if you do X, Y might happen, and that might throw into motion a whole series of events that could end up costing you money. So when you get certain insurance policies that are just a few pounds here or there, or a few dollars here or there, if they have good reviews and other people say they've been very good at handling claims, I would usually say they are worth it. Of course, this isn't specific advice for insurance. It can't be. And likewise, it's not legal advice, nor financial advice for that matter. But this is just one message I wanted to bring to you whilst I was doing videos for my other channel, Black Belt Barrister. And this was just one that really throws into sharp focus how one event could wipe out somebody's savings unless you do something about it. I hope you found that useful. Many more to come on here. Leave your questions and your thoughts below. More videos to come. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you next time.